Good evening. How we doing? How we doing? Well, I'm back again, and I want you to know that God is like really dealing with me with this blind. And as you saw the title, do you believe that He is able? Do you believe that He is able? Um, God really and truly wants to do some miraculous things. He wants the miracle signs and wonders to be done. And some stuff that, he wants to be done has to do with our belief and our faith. And God is really challenging us to check our belief and our faith to see where it is. Um, this evening he gave me this scripture in Matthew 9 and 27 to verse 30 is when Jesus healed the two blind men. Not just one, but he healed two blind men. And so the verse goes, in verse 27 it says, "And as Jesus passed on from there, two blind men followed him, crying aloud, have mercy upon us, son of David." When he entered the house, the blind men came to him, and Jesus said to them, "Do you believe that I am able to do this?" They said to him, "Yes, Lord." Then he touched their eyes, saying, "According to your faith, be it done to you." And their eyes were opened. And Jesus sternly warned them, "See that no one knows about this." Two things happen. First, he says, "Do you believe?" Like when you start seeing something and you see a habit, or you see a person that keeps doing the same thing over and over and over and over and over and over, you tend to not believe that they can be delivered, or they too far gone. So you kind of lose your faith, you lose your belief in that, they're just this can't happen. They're just way too gone. But God's saying is, do you believe? Do you believe? The enemy tries to distract us so much by circumstances, by a wave of situations that happen. Nothing just happens. One thing happens. You get one thing after another thing after another thing, and then you sitting back and you saying, "God, is it ever gonna stop? Are they ever gonna change? Are they ever gonna do something different? Are they ever gonna be delivered? Are they gonna keep their deliverance? Father, I don't even know if they saved." And God is saying, just, do you believe that I am able to do this? I mean, do you believe that I am able to do this? Because if you can believe that God is able to do it, then your belief and your faith will be able to transfer it to someone else, that when they're seeing that you believe in me more than I believe in myself. I used to say that my wife was loving me when I was unlovable. She was caring for me when I wasn't even caring for myself. She was believing in me when I didn't even believe in myself. She had faith in me when I didn't even have faith in myself. Because she had done tapped into God. She had done tapped into a place where I'm listening to God. Now, listen, not every day she might have missed something every now and then, but she always came back and got it right. And so now I'm in that place with God. I believe. When I was so far gone, I didn't have a belief. I didn't believe that I could be saved. I didn't believe that I could be delivered, because I tried deliverance and deliverance wasn't working. I get saved, I get delivered, and then all of a sudden, a couple weeks, a month or so, I'm back in the same way, and I'm worse than I was. And then the last state, it was bad. It was a bad place. And so being able to sit there and like being blind to this thing, being blind, it's like I couldn't see. I couldn't see the things that were happening to me. I couldn't see that I wasn't believing anymore. I couldn't see that my faith had disappeared, that I no longer had faith. And I didn't believe that I didn't believe God could actually save me. I didn't believe that I was actually going to ever be saved. I just thought maybe, I'm going to die like this. This is the way I'm gonna die. I remember my wife saying she didn't know that, she when she come home, she didn't know if she was gonna come home to a dead body. She didn't, cause I ain't believe in myself. I ain't believe that I can keep my deliverance. I ain't believe that I could actually, be who God said I could be. I ain't believe that. But God is saying right here, he was saying to these blind men, he was saying to Gerald, do you believe that I can save you? Do you believe that I can deliver you? Do you believe that I can bring you back and put you into the place where I told you who you are and told you what you could do? Do you believe that? I'm like, no, not really. So someone always asks, was God talking to you when you were out there? Yes. He was talking to me, and he was telling me stuff like that. But I was always looking at my circumstances, and my circumstances was telling me something totally different than what God was telling me. It was telling me, you stuck. You're no longer, you can't get out of this. Your habits are too strong. These strongholds got you locked down. Now I'm going to drop you into depression because your mind is going to go at a place that you can't even fathom, that you can't, because you can't get out. God's showing you something good, and he's showing you something that you could be and the things that you should be. But what you seeing is something totally different. You seeing your circumstances. So when you looking at somebody and they on drugs, you looking at somebody they on pornography, you looking at somebody they in perversion, they in alcohol, they got mental issues, they got all of these things. It's like, do you believe that they can be healed? Do you believe that they can be delivered? Do you believe that that they can be clean? Do you believe that? I'm like, really? Do you believe that? Because what you seeing right now is something that they need somebody to believe in them. They need, because they're not believing in themselves. But when you get mad and you get frustrated, do your words dictate the way you feel? Do your words show that you don't have belief in the system? Do your words show that you don't have faith in what God has said and what God has asked you to do? Because I'm telling you, this scripture is telling me right now that it is saying in Matthew 9 and 27, it talks about Jesus passing on and two blind men followed him, crying out loud, saying, "Have mercy upon me, son of God, son of David." And when he entered into the house, the blind man came to him, and Jesus said to them, "Do you believe that I am able to do this?" Listen, do you believe? And I'm just I'm talking to myself, because I have to talk to myself about the things that God is showing me. Do I believe it? Gerald, do you believe that I can take you further into this? Do you believe that I can keep you and I can keep your mind safe? Do you believe that I can put you into another place, into another level? I believe it now because I know where I came from. My faith is so much stronger now because I know where I came from. It's a process. First, I need you to believe that this can happen. And as you start walking it out, now you getting the faith that you know that you can walk this thing out, because this thing is not a overnight type of thing. Because it didn't take you overnight to get into that place. It didn't take a person overnight to get into that place. But do you believe that you can be delivered from anger? Do you believe that you can be delivered from frustration? Do you believe that you can be delivered from facial expressions? Do you believe that you can be delivered from obesity? Do you believe that you can be delivered from depression? Do you believe this? Do you believe this? Because God says, I need to stir up your belief. I need to stir this thing up. So he's going to ask you, do you believe? Gerald, do you believe? And I sit back and I had to check myself, because I remember when I was in my dark place and he's asking me these questions, I was saying no, because I ain't think so. And so it took me longer to come out because I didn't believe it. And then all of a sudden I got an ultimatum. And then I was like, okay, I better turn around. I better make this thing work. And okay, God, I believe in what you're saying. So show me how I'm going to get back. So I had to start walking back. So here's the process of gaining my faith, because I had to have the faith to be able to sustain myself, to be able to walk this thing out. Because it said, according to your faith, be it done to you. So I literally had to have the faith to walk this thing out so that what he was saying that I could have, I would be able to have. But I had to have the faith to actually do it. So this is still a faith walk. This still is a place where you got to believe what God is saying, and then have the faith enough, excuse me, to walk this thing out. Sorry about that. To walk this thing out. Literally, walk it out. This is not something that's gonna be easy, because I'm telling you, the enemy is not gonna allow you to just actually walk this thing out. It's not gonna. He's gonna come against your faith. He's gonna come against your belief. He's gonna make you feel like this is not gonna be done. Especially if you're dealing with someone else. You dealing with a spouse, and you've been seeing this spouse been doing some stuff for years and for years, and you don't see no change. Then you know what God has said. God has said, oh, he is my chosen one. He is my elected one. I've called for him. He's my chosen one. I've called for him to lead this. I've called for him to be a great man of God. I've called for him to be a pastor or an apostle. I've called for, these great callings upon their lives. And then you see something totally different, because the enemy will try to make them totally different than what God has called for them to be. It'll make them look like they're so far away from it that there's no hope in them. But let me tell you something. God is able to do exceedingly abundantly above all that we ask or think. And he got right here, Jesus told these blind men right here, it says, do you believe that I am able to do this? I'm able to do this. So when you're sitting there looking at this situation, your words need to be saying, God, you say that you are able to do this. You showed me that you're able to do this. You showed me that this man is a great man. This woman is a great woman of God. She is no longer bound. She is no longer chained. She is no longer crazy. She is no longer arguing. She is no longer drunk. She is no longer perverted. She is no longer drunk. He is no longer drunk. It doesn't even matter who it is, a he, she, a son or a daughter. It doesn't even matter. It does not matter. If you believe that they can be saved, if you believe that they can be delivered, you believe it, then I promise you, as you walking this thing out, as you're walking this thing out, your faith to be so strong that your faith will start influencing the next person, because the next person looks at everybody's always looking at somebody. Everybody's always trying to look at somebody to make sure either you're looking at them good or you're looking at them bad, but you're always looking for something. Are you living right? Some look at you to just see if you gonna walk out what you saying. I used to tell my wife that I'm watching if you're going to walk out what you're saying. I know what you're preaching. I know what you're saying. I know what God, you say God is telling you. I'm going to see if you're going to walk this thing out. But then I started looking at her, and then I started believing what God is saying. I started believing at God's words. I started believing, and now my faith is starting to operate with my belief. And now I'm walking in a place where I'll not only believe, but I have the faith to believe the impossible. I have the faith to believe that the things that I see and the things that I hope for are coming to pass. I believe that. I have faith like that. I have faith in things that are huge. The things that I see aren't small things. The things that I see are huge. I've never seen anything small. I'm always seeing things big. My problem was actually having the process of walking this thing out, putting these A's, B's, C's, D's, and all of these ABCs to get from one place to another place. But I believe that what God showed me, I can have. My faith now is being mixed with my declarations and the words that I speak, and now I put it together, and now I'm walking. No longer am I blind. No longer am I sitting in a place of demonic depression. No longer am I sitting in a place of perversion. No longer am I sitting in a place of death and destruction. No longer am I sitting in that place, because now I believe that I am healed. I believe that I am delivered. My faith shows that I'm past that stage. Now my belief that I'm able to keep my deliverance, because I was losing my deliverance for a very long time, and I was getting worse. Every time I get delivered, I go back into the world and I get worse. I go back into the world and I get worse. I get worse. And then it was like, dude, you don't even want this. It's not that I didn't want it. I didn't have enough strength to beat the enemy. I didn't have no strength. I didn't believe. And after I got beaten so many times, I didn't even believe that I could get loose. I didn't believe that I'd come out of this cage. And so now it's like, okay, is anybody going to believe in me? Because you're looking around looking for somebody that's going to believe in you. Somebody that's going to give you some hope. Somebody that's going to give you a hand. Somebody that's going to give you some type of faith that you can say, man, I can actually come out of this. I'm telling you, this ain't a place. This is a place where you can fall out dead and somebody just not even care about you. Because every time you read about somebody that's blind or crippled or demonic depressed, everybody walking past them. Ain't nobody talking to them. Ain't nobody dealing with them. You might have a select few that will actually get them a hand and get them to a point, from one point to another point. But from most people, they just walking past it because they don't believe it. They don't believe it. And I'm like, dude, if you know where I come from, listen, I can sit there and walk around and nobody won't know nothing. But I was so dark inside. My mind was gone. Bird says the double-minded man was unstable in all of his ways. And when I can tell you I was unstable in all of my ways, I was unstable. I was like a ticking time bomb. I was ready to blow up at any given time. Any given time, I was ready to blow up. So I'm like, okay, God, I believe. It was hard for me. I was just saying it because I didn't want to die. I was just like, I don't want to die in this sin. I don't want to die in this place. I mean, good God, I don't want to die like this. So I'm like, yeah, I believe. Okay, I believe you can do it, God. I believe you can do it. I'm just giving him words. But now I had to turn around and start walking. And I always say I had to walk back down this dark road because here's the process that I had to go through for my faith, for my belief and my faith to actually meet, to come together, and for me to get to this place, because it took for me to believe, just to say I believe, and then to turn around and have faith that I can walk this thing out. This thing was hard. It was hard. So let me tell you, what's hard? What's your hard situation? Looking at your spouse? Looking at him or her do some stupid stuff, looking at them say they don't love you no more, looking at them say that you don't care. But what is God saying? What does God say? What does God say about this? What did God tell you? Because you can look at a situation and you can even listen to the spouse's words and they going totally against what God has told you, and their actions are going totally against what God has told you. And God says, I want you to love them like they haven't even done anything, but they steady cussing at you. They steady telling you they hate you. They steady telling you they don't like you. They steady telling you that I like the other person better than I like you. And you're sitting there and you hearing these words, and your flesh and your emotions is telling you one thing, but God is telling you another thing. But your words, because you starting to, your emotions and your flesh is starting to come against your belief. It's starting to come against your faith, and all of a sudden now your belief is not working and your faith is not working, and now you believing and you hearing and you accepting everything that this person has said to you or these people are saying to you, and now you don't even believe that God can actually deliver, or God can actually restore, or God can actually do what he said he was going to do. Let me tell you, I am a living example of what God can do. God says, Gerald, through what you're doing, I want you to give help and hope. My wife gives help and I bring hope, because I'm telling you that there's hope in that person. There's hope in that person that they might not even believe in themselves, but you got to believe in them. They might not have enough faith to get them from point A to point B, but you got more faith. And you just say, God, I need more faith. Increase my faith that I'm able to show more faith in this situation, that I believe that what you said to me will come true. Now, you didn't put a time limit on it. You didn't say it's going to happen tomorrow. You didn't say it was going to happen next week. You didn't even say it was going to happen this year, but you said it will happen. And so I believe, and I don't care how long it's going to take, I believe that what you said to me is going to come true. I believe what you said to me, that they will be saved. And so here it is. I'm standing here, God, and I'm asking asking you for strength. I'm asking you for strength. I'm asking you for faith. I'm asking you, Father God, to continue to lift me up, because right now the enemy, you got to be real. Just be real with God. Don't go to him saying, "Oh, this is it." Listen, that baby stuff is for babies. We grown now. We grown now. It's time to go to another level. It's time to stop letting the enemy kill it, knock out our faith, knock out our belief. We gonna believe what God says. Now listen, you believe some of the word in the Bible. Why you don't believe what God is telling you? If you believe the words in the Bible, why you don't believe what God is telling you? It will work. Why do we don't believe that? Because you know why we don't believe it? Because we look in our natural eyes and we get in our feelings and we get in our emotions and we don't believe it. I'm just telling you something that I dealt with. I ain't believe it. You know why I ain't believe it? Because I couldn't see it. You know why I couldn't see it? Because I had scales over my eyes, and then my emotions tell me that ain't gonna work. You fail too much. You're not a winner. You're a loser. You're a loser. Nobody likes you. Nobody even want to be around you. Look at you. You're homeless. You're out here on drugs. You're out here on alcohol. You acting like you schizophrenic. You acting like you bipolar. You acting like all of these different things. So you're just flat out demonically depressed. And now you're trying to tell me that this is the enemy, that you're going to be this going to lead men, that you're going to be an apostle, that you're going to be this and this and this, and a prophet. You're going to be this to the nations. You're going to be, all of these prophetic words that have been spoken over me. The enemy heard those words too. And so he's telling me I'm not going to be that. And so I'm sitting in a death place. I'm sitting in a dead place. My mind is in a dead place, in a depressed place, in a suicidal place. So I'm sitting in this place and I'm sitting here listening and looking at somebody, looking at people and looking at like, okay, is anybody gonna help me? And let me tell you, it's somebody that's trying to help. It's the perspective that we're looking through is seeing that nobody cares. Nobody wants us. Nobody wants to help us. And you're sitting over there like, okay, I'm here. I'm trying to help you. I'm trying to pray for you. I'm trying to lift you up. I'm trying to do all of these things for you. But you're not even allowing me to love you. You're not even allowing me to pray for you. You're not even allowing me to see you. And I want to do all of these things for you. I don't want you to be in this place. But you know what? We're over here not even believing. We don't have enough faith. And we're not secure enough to say, I need some help. We're not going to ask for the help. So it's best for you to be actually praying and like believing for them, because what God is saying that he wants you to do, he wants you to do it. If he's telling you that he wants you to pray for your marriage, to work on your marriage, he's going to restore your marriage. I mean, if he's telling you these things, then there's a requirement for that stuff to happen. And a lot of it has to deal with the person themselves. We want to look at the other person, but God is saying, I need you to look at yourself. I need you to see where your belief is. I need to see where your faith is, because if you ain't going to believe it, how in the world they going to believe it? My wife, I'm just saying it. My wife believed this thing before I did. God showed it to her. He showed it to her, and she had to believe it. I mean, like, believe it when I was acting like an idiot. When I was just no good to her. I wasn't trying to do. I hated her. Even on these hard, bad times, she still had to believe that. Even though she wasn't seeing it. And she wasn't seeing it for a very, very, very long time. She had to have faith that God's word will not return void. What God told her will come to pass. And so now we're in that place where God's word came to pass. Why? Because she had to put in this work. She had to believe when she didn't even think she could believe. She had to believe when I didn't even believe. She had to believe when everybody else around her didn't believe. She had to have faith in what God's word says and what God's word would do, that it would do what she said it would do. That when she prayed these prayers, that they would break the demonic depression off of my life. That when she prayed these prayers, that the enemy was was losing his grip. That when she prayed these prayers, that everything that was coming against me was now being under my feet. She was praying these prayers that I didn't even know she was praying, but God had the angels in the heaven. Her voice started activating the angels in heaven, and all of a sudden things started shifting. Things started changing. And then all of a sudden God's like, just go home. Make a phone call. Go home. He had already told her to leave the door open. I called my wife and I said, I want to come home. I'm tired. I just want to come home. And she was like, okay, the back door open. I know that was God, because my wife ain't never leaving no door open for nobody. Absolutely no one. And that was one of the things that used to make her really mad, because I was one of those people that'll leave the door open because ain't nobody coming in the door. I'm in the backyard, or I'm in the front door. I'm on the front yard, so ain't nobody coming. But she wants this door locked, and she leaves the door locked. And I come home. And I get in the bed, and it's like nothing but peace. But let me tell you something. There's the work. There's the belief. There's the faith that one day he's going to come back home. And when he does come back home, are you ready? Do you believe that what you've been praying and what God has told you will come to pass? Is your faith strong enough to stand against the enemy when the enemy comes at you like a flood, that God will raise a standard, and he will raise his word up, that he will put a word inside of you that will sustain you, a word that will bring you to a place that you will be able to defeat the enemy by your words, by your faith. And as each one of those moments come, when the enemy comes, and he'll use the spouse, he'll use anybody to come back at you to test your faith. And what's happening is are you passing? How many times are you going to lose? How many times are you going to say, I missed it? How many times are you going to say, dang, man, I almost did it. Man, I almost did it. I almost did it. How many times we going to get to that place? Here's the time where God's saying, no more for the I almost did it. I almost did it. He wants you to actually do it. Because the more you do it, the more you have victory over it, the more your faith increase. The more your faith increase. Because the more you don't do it, the more you don't believe that you can do it. So, once again, Jesus asked these blind men, do you believe that I am able to do it? Ask yourself the question. Do you believe that God is able, that Jesus is able to do what he said he would do? God says he's going to do something. I'm trying to tell you, God is not a man that he should lie. So it's going to be done. So all it takes is, where's your belief and where's your faith? Where is your belief? Let's put it on a meter. Let's put it on a meter. Where's your meter in your belief? And where's your meter on your faith? If they're at zero, then there's no belief. There's no faith. Then you're sitting there just like it is what it is. No, God is not it's not is what it is. It's time to actually do something different. It's time to do something different. So let's take these blinders off. Let's let the blinders come off. Let's stop walking around blind. Let's go. God says, I'm going to do it, then he's going to do it. If he told you he's going to do it, he's going to do it. Meet the requirements. There's requirements that we all have to make. And I'm telling you, I had to make, and I still have to meet requirements. I'm still having to meet requirements. I'm going to have to meet requirements all of my life. I already know that. I'm good with that. I'm at peace with that. I already know I jacked up a long time ago. I know what I did. So now it's my time to make up. So I'm willing to actually do it. Is it hard? Yes. Do I mess up sometimes? Yes. Do I get aggravated about it? Yes. Am I transparent about it? Yes. I'm just saying. I'm just being real. This is not something that I have to make up. Man, this is my life. I have to get on here and tell my business. I have to tell my mix-ups. I have to tell where I come from. I have to tell my process, because there's someone that's sitting there that's struggling. There's someone that's sitting there blind. There's someone that's sitting there that's in shame, depression, suicidal, and feel like they can't get back to their families. They can't get back to their destiny and purpose. That they can't get things back. But God's saying, son and daughter, if you believe that I am able to do this, come on. Help them to believe. Have faith in them that they can actually do it. Give them some encouragement. I said something this morning is about your words and your work. Can your words match your work? What's your words looking like? Because if your words are negative, you ain't putting in no work. But if you putting encouraging words, now you putting in some work. You putting in that belief. You're putting in that faith. You're putting in that if he's hurt and they down and they out, you're going and giving them a hand. If you can't even touch your spouse and you ain't around your spouse, you can believe. You can believe in what God says. You can actually access the heaven. All you got to do is just start praying. Start praying fervent prayers. Don't be you praying. You need to God deliver them. God, I love my husband. God, you said my husband is a king. God, you said my husband is anointed. You said that he's this. You said that he's. Stop calling those things. Stop calling out all, oh, he needs to deliver from this. God knows what he needs to be delivered from. But what you need to be delivered from is hurt. What you need to be delivered from is depression, is shame, is all of those things. Some stuff that you got to be delivered from too. And so focus on that part and start speaking the life into the situation. Speak life into the situation. God knows what we need delivered from. He knows what we need delivered from. My wife sent me a list of things that God, a list, listen, a list of prophetic words that was spoken over me of my identity. And she put scriptures to it. Not one of these things said I need to be delivered from perversion. I need to be delivered from lying. I need to be shit. Wasn't none of that being said. Not one. Everybody knew what I needed to be delivered from. I don't need you to tell me what I need to be delivered from. I don't need you to be praying that what I need to be. I know what I need to be delivered from. But can you tell me something good? Can you get me to a place where I can believe in myself that I can actually keep my deliverance? Because that's where I'm at. That's where they are. They just need to be able to keep their deliverance. They need somebody to be able to speak life into them. Speaking what God said, who they are. Ask God. God, who is my husband? What is my husband? What do you see in my husband? Ask that question. Ask that question. And as God gives you that answer, now you got an answer that you can actually start praying for. You can start writing declarations for, and now you start seeing something different. Because if you keep doing the same thing and you keep getting the same result, I think that's called insanity. So let's do something different. Let's check our belief in what God is saying, and let's check to see if what we're doing is making a difference in the other person. Because if we believe and we have faith in what God has said that this person is, then we should be able to break the walls down. We should be able to break barriers down. We should be able to break the back of the enemy, that they should no longer be in bondage, that they should no longer be in it. Because what really happens is that when you start losing faith and you start losing belief, you're not even praying the same. Your prayers go to, they need to be delivered. They just need to be delivered. You need to deliver them from double-mindedness. Yes, we know that. They know that. But can we please pray something that talks into their destiny and purpose? Can we pray something that identifies with their identity and who God has called for them to be? Because God can deal with he can deal with deliverance. Because I had to come back and I still had to be delivered. I still had I came home and I still had the same issue. I still had the stuff, but I had strength now because I was looking at somebody that believed in me. I looked at somebody that had faith in me. I looked at somebody that spoke encouraging words to me that help me to believe in myself, to help me to have faith that I can actually stand this day, like one day at a time, that I can actually stand one day at a time, and that I can actually make it. So if you ain't speaking, you only speaking the negative things because you hurt, because you mad, because you frustrated, because you're disappointed, because that person is hurt, broken, bad, sad, and all of the mess. And so they talking, they only speaking out of their hurt, they only speaking out of their frustration, they only speaking out of the depressed place that they're in. So that's what they're speaking out of. And so now you're speaking out of that place. And so where is it going? Nobody's believing and nobody has faith. Nobody. Because everybody's in their emotions. Somebody gotta be, and somebody gotta believe, and somebody gotta have faith, and somebody gotta have a check over their emotions and their feelings. Somebody has to do it. Somebody has to do it. And whoever that person is, it has to be. If it's the husband or if it's the wife, whoever it may be, if it's over your children, somebody has to be. Somebody has to do it. Somebody has to be able to have some belief that they're going to speak these words. Because Jesus said, do you believe that I am able to do this? I am able to do this. Do you believe it? Do you believe that God is able to save your children? Do you believe? I mean, I bet you if I tell you, you say that your children, do you believe God can save your children? I bet you everybody say yes, yes, yes. But soon as it comes to a spouse that's acting like an idiot, that's out there in the world, that's bound by perversion, that's out there on drugs, that's smoking crack, drinking alcohol, as a drunk or whatever it may be, that you know he been doing that for 19 years, and now you believe like, man, he been doing that for 10 years. That's just the way he is. He ain't gonna never change. Check your words. Where's your belief and where's your faith? Because if none of that, if you saying that, then that ain't gonna never change. When you start saying something different, you changing the atmosphere. When you start changing the atmosphere and you start walking out a new place, you start walking out what you believe, you start walking out your faith. And I can promise you, as you walk out your faith and you walking out your belief, that what that person is seeing something totally different than the person that used to talk negative to him, the person that used to look down to him, the person that used to just forget about him. But now God is saying that because you're walking this thing out, because you're doing it consistently, you're doing it because you want to please me, and you're not just trying to get him back, but you're trying to please me. But once you start trying to please God, then God works on your behalf. But as long as you trying to please a man, you trying to get your husband back, you trying to get all this back, you trying to get something back, but you are still a hot mess. And as soon as he act up, you're going to revert right back to the same person. Come on now. How has that been working? That doesn't even work. Doesn't even work. But just know, God says, do you believe that I am able to do this? Ask yourself that question. Do you believe that God is able to do what he said he would do? God says, I'm going to heal you. I'm going to heal you. Do you believe that? Do you believe it when you get symptoms? Do you believe it when you get really sick? Do you believe it when you feeling bad? Do you believe that? What's your declaration? What's your prayer? What's your prayer life looking like? What are you saying to yourself? Is because you looking at your situation, is your faith decreasing? Is your belief decreasing? Then what God said you can do and will do? Come on. Let's just be real. This is transparency. This is Jim. You know, we transparent. I'm just telling you. Hey, listen. I've been there. I know what it looks like. I know what it sounds like. I know what it feels like. I've been there. I've been on both. I've been on that side. I watched my wife do this. I watch her suffer. I watch her get mad. I watch her get upset. And I watch her come out of it. I watch her change her life. I watch her change her words. And now, as because she did that, it gave me the place to be able to do what I'm doing. It gave me a place to be in the place that I'm in now. And now that I'm in my place, now I'm able to help someone else. And this is that help right now. This is that help. No longer can you sit back and allow your faith and your belief in your faith to be diminished because you're looking at a circumstance, you're looking at a situation when God is saying, I'm able to do this. Do you believe that I'm able to do this? He's telling you that every single day. Do you believe that I'm able to do this? And if you ain't giving him a yes, and you giving him, I don't know, do you see what I see? Why you ain't dealing with him? Why you ain't, God is dealing with you, but you saying why he ain't dealing with him? He gonna deal with him. He deals with him in his own time. It ain't your timing. He's trying to deal with you. Because if I can't get you right, if I can't get you to believe, and I can't get you to have faith, how in the world he gonna have it? He can't even see. Man, I was sitting over there blind as a bat. I couldn't see nothing. But he had to work on my wife. Just like he's having to work on you. Just like he had to work on me. Just like he constantly work on me. Because the enemy is trying to take me back to the old days. He's trying to take me back to the dark days. He's trying to take me back because he don't like me. He's trying to kill me. Every day that I wake up, I'm a threat to him. And so why would he want to just allow me to do what I need to do? Why would he allow me for my belief to get to a place where I'm going to believe the impossible? What? I believe that I can raise the dead. I have faith that if I lay hands on the sick, they're recovering instantly. That's what I believe. That's where my faith is. That's where I'm going. And that's where the enemy didn't want me to be. He didn't want me to feel this. He didn't want me to see this. He didn't want me to operate like this. And so my goal is to actually go back into the dark places and pull these men out. I'm not going to sit back and allow them, if nobody is not going to give them no belief, if nobody ain't going to give them no hope, if you ain't going to believe, then I believe. I believe that God can bring them out. I believe that God can bring them. My faith is a faith. I have enough faith in God's word, and that God's word will not return void, empty, or vain. I know God's word will accomplish what he said it would accomplish. I know that. And I'm believing that this day is the day that our minds are being renewed. We're checking our faith. We're checking what God is saying. If God is saying that he can do this, then believe that God can do it. Because what he's trying to do is increase your faith. So let your faith be increased. Say, God, give me more faith. Increase my faith. I need more faith. I need to believe what you believe. I need to see it the way you see it. I'm only trying to please you. I'm not trying to please myself, and I'm not trying to please my spouse. I am trying to please you. So if I please you, then I know I'll please anybody else. That's the place we got to get to. This is that day. This is that moment. So I pray that this message helps someone, that the day that you see somebody blind, if your spouse is blind, I don't care if you ain't seen your spouse in years. I don't care if you ain't seen them in decades. I don't even care if y'all separated. I don't care if he's there. That's not even a point. It's not even a point. The point is do you believe that God can do this? Do you believe it? I mean, if you don't even see it, do you believe it? So that means you could be doing that in your own home. You don't have to have nobody close to you. You don't have to have your spouse near you. Your spouse ain't got to be there. Your spouse ain't got to be there for all this time for you to be able to believe. You don't allow time to stop you from believing. You don't let time stop your faith from growing. You don't allow that. You don't allow that. So just continue to believe in God. Continue to believe that God will do what he said he's going to do. If God told you something, he going to do it. If he showed you something, he going to do it. Why would God show you something? Listen, why would he show you something and not give it to you? Does that look like a good father? Does that sound like a good father? Do you do that to your kids? Do you show them something that you're going to give them and then don't give it to them? Why would you show it to them if you ain't going to give it to them? Why would God do that? He's not going to do that. So, check your belief. Check what you believe in. Check your belief meter. That's what I want. Check your belief meter. Do you believe God can do this? That God is able to do this? Because he is. And he wants to do it, but it depends on you. It does not depend on your spouse at all. It doesn't depend on him or her. It doesn't. It depends on you, because they can't dictate what you believe. They can't dictate your faith. They can't do it. But what they can do is help it increase. They can increase it. They can't dictate it, because you believe in what God says. You believe God going to do what God says he's going to do. I don't care if it's your business. I don't care if it's your marriage. I don't care if it's your career. I don't care what it is. If God has already showed you something, then you got to believe that God will be able to do it. You got to believe that. And then you got to have a faith that it will work. Come on, man. Y'all just, come on. I don't know. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. So if you sit in there in a pity party because you ain't seen your spouse or you ain't seen your baby, you ain't seen them in years. They ain't talking to you. If they talking to you, they talking to you crazy. They talking to you. Listen. That God deals with that. Your job is, I'm gonna believe in God what God says. God says that you are a godly man. God told me that you are the man that's gonna lead my family. That you are the man that's gonna do this. That you're an apostle. That you're a pastor. That you whatever the word that God is giving you for your spouse or for your situation. That's what you believe. The enemy is always trying to steal that word. He's always trying to steal the word. He's trying to steal the promises of God. He's trying to steal the blessings of God. He comes to kill, steal, and destroy. Hello, you better pay attention to what he's trying to do. He's trying to kill you. He's trying to kill your dreams. He's trying to kill your destiny. He's trying to kill your purpose. And first thing he kills is your belief and your faith. Because if I can kill that, then you're not even dreaming anymore. You're not even hoping anymore. You're not even caring anymore. And then all of a sudden now you're sitting there getting beat up, bruised, busted and disgusted, and the enemy is having a field day with you, and now you done lost hope in everything that God has said. Don't allow the enemy to take that. Don't allow the enemy to take your belief and your hope and your faith. Don't allow him to. Come on. God is able to do what he said he's going to do. And he's going to do it. So, with that being said, I know this was long, but I just wanted to be led by God to actually get on here and do this. I wanted to be led by God to get out everything that he wants me to get out. So you can go back to that scripture. Get to that scripture. It's Matthew 9 and 27 to 30. It's about the two blind men followed Jesus. And he asked them, do you believe that I am able to do this? And they said to him, yes, Lord. So, can we just give God a yes? Can I get some yeses? Yes, Lord. Just give me some yes, Lords up. Put yes, Lords up. That's your declaration. Yes, Lord. I believe. Yes, Lord. I believe. Yes, Lord, that you're able to do this. I believe that you are able to do this. I give you a yes, Lord. Yes, Lord. Come on. I know many of y'all on here, so give God a yes, Lord. Give God a yes, Lord. Come on now. You got to believe it, because if you can't even actually write yes, Lord, then you don't even believe it. I'm just being real. You're gonna sit on, you might as well say it, yes, Lord. I believe. I don't know what you have to believe in. I don't know what you believe in. You might be believing for your family. You might be believing for your job. You might be believing for your healing. You might be believing for your children. You might be believing for something, but you can say, yes, Lord. I believe, yes, Lord. I'm going to believe, yes, Lord. I'm going to give, yes, Lord. I'm going to have faith, yes, Lord. You got to believe and you got to have some faith so you can give God a yes, Lord. Give him a yes, Lord. Let him know that you still believe. Let him know that you still have faith. And you saying, yes, Lord, I do believe. I believe that you're able to do this. I believe that you're able to do this. Come on. Come on. And it says, according to your faith, be it done to you. So you, listen, that's an assurance. According to your faith. What's your faith meter? Because your faith meter is going to tell if it's going to be done to you. Your faith meter tells if it's going to be done to you. Come on. Because it says according to your faith. So if you can't even get God a yes, Lord, that means your faith is not even at a place where you can get God a yes, Lord. That it can be done. You talking about you want something done? You want something done in your life? Then you got to give God a yes. It's a yes, Lord. It's not this. Listen, this is a place of surrender. I surrender, God. I'm sorry that I didn't believe. I'm sorry that my faith wasn't where it needed to be. I'm sorry. I need to believe more. I need my belief to be increased. I need my faith to be increased. So, Father, I'm giving you a yes. I'm giving you a yes that I believe that you're able to do this. Because, Father, I know that according to my faith, that this will be done. And so, Father, I need my faith to be increased, that it will be done. It will be done in my household. It will be done in my life. It will be done in my destiny. It will be done in my purpose. It will be done in my kids' life. It will be done in my spouse's life. Father, let my faith increase, that it will be done in everything that I do, everywhere that I am. So, Father, I give you a yes, Lord. Yes, Lord. So, with that being said, let God meditate on that word. Meditate on it. Think about it. Think about it. Please think about it. Think about it, because this is that moment where God is checking your belief and He's checking your faith. So be blessed and ask God to increase your faith and bring back your belief. If you lost it, find it. Find it. Come on. Ask. Here's your answer. Knock. Door will open. You seek, you're going to find. So you got to do it. You can't just sit there and think that it's going to happen. Come on. Ask God and allow God to be who He is in your life. All right? Y'all be blessed. Once again, this is Gerald from Gerald and Yvette Gym Ministries. You can go check us out on GeraldandYvette.com. Thank you, Angel. GeraldandYvette.com. Thank you, Angel. Gerald and Yvette Ministries on YouTube. And I'm doing a webinar covering the roles of men. Tonight was our first night. It was awesome. It was just, God was just doing some things. And so this is part of it. You know, I got off and he says, I need you to do this because I need you to be able to sustain what I'm asking you to do. And this is part of it. And I told my wife was like, it's time for you to go to bed because, it's past my bedtime. But God was like, I need you to do this. And so this is that place. So it was somebody on here that God wanted to talk to you about your belief. And He wanted to talk to you about your faith. And He really wanted you to say, I give you a yes, Lord. He really wanted you to say yes, Lord. To knowing that you need more belief, that you knowing that you need more faith, and you're going to ask God for more. And as you ask and you surrender to a place, surrender to that place, that He will pour into you everything that you need. He will pour into you the strength. He will pour into you the wisdom. He will pour into you the understanding. He will pour into you. He desires to pour into you. And so just be a vessel that He can pour into. And so tonight, as you sleep, as you meditate, just say, God, I give you a yes, Lord. I know that you're able to do this. I know that you will do this. And Father, according to my faith, that it is done. And I believe that it is done now. In the name of Jesus. No more pity parties. No more complaining. No more worrying about what my spouse is doing, how my spouse is doing. Father, all I'm trying to do is I need you to work on me. I need you to deal with me. I need my faith and my belief to be so high that every person that comes connected to me, that I have enough to pour into them, that they belief and faith will be increased, and that they will come out of anything and everything that has been dealing with them. Come on, y'all. Do I have anybody? Do I have somebody that'll help me? Do I have anybody that'll come in agreement with me? Do I have anybody that will go back and they will help? Do I have anybody that needs their belief increased, that they need their belief strengthened, that they need their faith increased, that they need their faith strengthened? Come on. If it's anybody out there, just say, yes, Lord. That's me. Yes, Lord. Deal with me. Yes, Lord. I surrender. Yes, Lord. Just give God a yes, Lord. Just say yes, Lord. Yes, Lord. Yes, Lord. Yes, Lord. And I mean meditate on that thing tonight. Just say yes, Lord. All right. Once again, I'm trying to get off, God. I know it. You just keep pouring. You just keep giving me things. You keep stirring me up. And God just won't allow me to get off real quick. So, but I know God wants to get a yes out of you. I know He wants to get a yes out of you. So if that's you, that you need to give God a yes. You need to give God a yes. You need to get in this scripture and just let this scripture meditate on you, because right now you're sitting in a blind place. You're sitting in a place where you can't see the destiny and purpose, because things are starting to cloud you. The scales are so tight over your eyes that you only see your own perspective. You're not seeing it the way God wants you to see it. And God is trying to show you something different. God is trying to bring you into a place of difference. He's trying to bring you into a place of a new place in Him, that you will no longer be trapped and snared by the same traps and the same cycles that you've been dealing with year after year, month after month, time after time. But God is trying to break a cycle and break you into a new place. He's trying to break you into a new destiny and purpose that He's always had planned for you, that you have lost faith in, that you didn't even think that you could ever get back to it, because you allowed circumstances to break you. You allowed circumstances to cloud you. You allowed circumstances to torment you. You allow circumstances to come into your mind and disrupt your mind. And God is saying, I need you to renew your mind, that I will bring forth a new sight, that what you're going into 2020, that you'll not only see differently, but your perspective will be a whole lot clearer than who you are and what you are in me. And that your faith will be into a place, that your faith will be so high that you will believe the impossible, that the impossible will become possible for you instantly. That is a place where God is trying to take you. So be blessed and have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful time in the Lord as you lay your head down and rest. So be blessed and have a great evening of sleep. See you tomorrow.